Thank you, teacher.
Chineke is doing very well.
Good. I spoke to you last week about my complaint, and my name is Taiwo.
Do you guys hear? Okay, we might have to mic you.
My name is Taiwo. I spoke to you last week about my coming to Benue State. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a long time now I've been here, so I think it's very interesting to be back home. I have 3 questions I want to ask you, and I hope I won't take much of your time.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure you've been very involved with the Association of Positive Women Living with HIV, and you've played a very vital role in ensuring that women's voices are reflected in policies and other documents. I'm very sure you're aware about Nigeria's plan of implementing Option B+, and they've raised some concerns, and I think it's essential for me to get views of women living with HIV about Nigeria's plan of implementing Option B+ in the country. So I'm going to ask you some few questions, and okay, thank you. First of all, I did these consultations in 4 states, and my goal is to make sure that women's voices are reflected in the new proposed national treatment guidelines, and also that those recommendations are reflected in, and also that women living with HIV have a voice in making sure that they know what they are putting themselves into. Are you aware about Nigeria's plan to implement Option B+?
Yes, I am very aware. It is very important to introduce Option B+. But I don't know how it's going to work, because I don't know. There are so many challenges that women, like my friends, are facing out there in many parts of Nigeria. So I don't know how you think this is going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. Do you mind sharing some of those thoughts? Because there's been documented evidence to say that most women at gestation, they don't come back to the hospital to give birth. Do you want to share more light on some of these challenges and why you think it might not really work?
The last time I was at the marketplace, I was speaking to some of my friends who had gone through this process in the hospital, and they told me, one of them told me it was very, very expensive. Very, very expensive to go through this process. And I do not have this money. I have 2 goats, and that's it. I only have 2 goats, and my relatives only bring me fufu, and that's it. So I don't have any money to go to the hospital. I don't have money to go to the clinic. And another reason that most of my friends told me is that the beds that are there are very high. And for a pregnant woman, Abby, I don't think it's possible. I don't think I can use those beds. I don't think I'll go to that hospital.
So, what are the things you would recommend that I go forward with?
When we are in the community, we have these women, the women who help women who are pregnant have babies. And they are very good. They take installments. I just give them one of my goats, and then I can see what happens after the year goes by. You know, when Chineke maybe grows up, he could be a king. He could marry the king's daughter, and I could get some money and give and pay the lady. But in the hospitals, it's very difficult. And you know, another thing that we need in these processes in the hospital, I think, is that we need women who have gone through this process and have HIV and have gone through this process of, what did you call it? Option B plus?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we're just about to start implementing option B
now
plus.
it's
What we had before was option B.
I don't know. You know, I think that if there are women who are in these institutions, who have gone through this process and are able to talk to women like me and tell me what is the importance of being, I heard we have to be on treatment for the rest of our lives. I want to know. And I've been through this process and what has happened to them. I would really like to know before I get into this program, whatever you call it. I don't know.
I want to say thank you so much for your time. It's been very productive. I'll make sure that all your recommendations are submitted to the Agency for Control of AIDS in Nigeria.
Oh, thank you very much. Do you want to come for lunch and have some food?
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
That was wonderful.
Wow.
Maureen, you're such a great actor.
One of the things, what you just seen is one of the activities I implemented during the fellowship year. I engaged women living with HIV in different communities in 4 states in Nigeria. And Nigeria is a population of over 170 million. And currently, we have a huge population of people living with HIV. We are number 2 globally. And our country has committed to start the rollout of Option B Plus in the country. But when the president made that commitment, there were so many concerns regarding how Nigeria would come up with the funds, taking into consideration that 75% of our HIV programming is from international donors. So people were concerned to say, how do we get money to fund this? So what I did was to go around different parts of the country to engage with women and also NACA, which is the National Coordinating Agency in the country. And what I did was that they had a technical working group on prevention. So I asked them if I could be an observer to some of their sittings, and my application was granted. So after my consultation, I took back all the recommendations from the women and different groups that I met to these policymakers to say, yes, if we are going to implement Option B+, these are the concerns of women. There is need for us to address this issue if we don't want to do business as usual. So it entails quite a lot of lobbying, quite a lot of travel, quite a lot of phone calls. But gladly, 5 of those recommendations went into the national treatment guidelines. And one of it was that this recommendation, which recommendations were that mentor mothers, these are women who had gone through the previous option, previous option B, which is the National PMTT program, would be used as mentors, and IHVN had already commenced using that process of mentor mothers program.